too, so anything you say will be recorded. So, Keenan, I'm going to be talking to you because you're the first one through this and you're the only one going through this. So let's go through this, Keenan.
Yeah.
I'll be totally talking to you. Anyways, for this section here, wages and salaries, earning money. I think we know how to do this, right? We better, because that's the equation that you do all throughout 20 and 10. So, cross multiply, divide by the loaner, and I'll leave these three for you to do afterwards. What we're going to do, all of those cross multiply, divide by the loaner. What we're going to do is just explore the math thing here. It says read. Well, we aren't going to read here. We're going to just do it as a discussion. Answer the following questions. The minimum amount a worker must be paid an hour is called the minimum what? Keenan? Minimum wage. Good. We know what we're talking about. There's no need to look that stuff up. The total money earned by an employee is called the what pay? You know that? That's called the net pay. So in a problem, that's before taxes and deductions. The net pay. When you get a pay stub, you'll see your net pay, and then what you really get be less because they take off taxes, maybe some other things, employment insurance or premiums and CPP, other stuff. Anyways, when you're asked to work additional hours, it's called working. Well, I heard the lady say this, overtime. Form, pardon me. So Keenan, you know about working overtime? Yeah. D then, a form that an employer gives an employee that shows your earnings, deductions from earnings for defined pay periods called a, you know what that's called? That's your pay stub. Okay. Well, the math behind this is fairly simple. It's always the words in this course. And let's just see here. Here's a super simple one. WA, workplace and apprenticeship. It's my restaurant I started. Hey, look at this. We're going to serve juicy burgers. So on. I'm going to call this one the teenager burger. This one in the picture. Not to be associated with A&W by any way. Theirs is a teen burger. It's totally different. You just got a job at WA flipping burgers. Pay is minimum wage, $10.20. That was last year, October. This October 1st is $10.50, 30 cents more. Nobody's going to get rich quick, but it's going up. What is your weekly gross pay, though, with the $10.20 before deductions? Gross pay. You know what? We can also put up here, by the way, net pay. What did I say? The total money, gross pay. Why was I listening? The total amount of money, just a second here. The total, I should go back to B here. I was going quick and misspoke. The total amount of money earned by an employee is called the net pay. I'm saying that's the total after deductions is what you net pay. Before deductions is gross pay. That's what I need to point out. That's vaguely worded there. Okay, you work 40 hours per week. What's your weekly gross pay? You know how to do this? Well, 40 hours in a week of work, $10.20 an hour. You're just going to multiply here. So you go with your, I'm going to go with this here. The pay, gross pay, not the net. It's going to be equal to your wage, hourly wage, 10, 20, 10, divided by, well, per hour. I'm just putting it out like that. 10.20 per hour times the 40 hours. Now, if it was an even 10 bucks, it'd be super simple. It'd be 400 bucks. This is 480. Use a calculator when you need to figure out that. That's your gross pay for the week. Okay? So, hours times your hourly wage gives you your pay. Always use dollar sign in your final answer though. Gross pay is paid before deductions. Okay, we're good to move on? Take a look at a pay stub example here. Pay statement, pay stub, same thing. Study this. Okay, that's the name of the company here, ABC Elevator Repair. Pay period beginning the 13th going to the 19th, okay? The pay rate, now that's important, 19 bucks an hour. They also have it here, 19 an hour. The gross earnings are given. We don't have the hours in this problem. Now, how many days does this pay period cover? Now, if you just took, like this pay period is from the 13th, October 13th to the 19th, right? Now, usually that is including the start day or whatever. So, if you just did simple subtraction, you'd think, oh, that's only 6 days, 13 or 19 minus 13. But just figure it this way. Using your fingers, you could just 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, that's 7 days or whatever, right? So if you subtract, add 1 to take the first day and include it, okay? So that's a 7-day pay period. Okay, so 7 days. If the gross earnings are given here, and it is $712.50, how many hours did she work? We got the, now this is working a little bit backwards. I'm going to put B over here. It's a bit more to show. But think of it this way. We got the gross earnings, 712.50. We don't have the hours, but we would like them. Luckily, we were given the hourly rate. $19 for 1 hour. Now, when you set that up, I got the 19 per hour from here, from the pay stub that's written in there twice, also written up in there. This is what we want to find out, the hours when you earn 712 gross, 712.50. So you notice how the dollars are on the top, hours is what we want, and hours are on the bottom there. So now it's just a cross multiply, divide by the loaner. If you can see it though, and just jump into the division, some people are pretty nifty that way, go ahead, you don't have to set it up this way. When you cross multiply and divide, you will find out, I'll write it down here. X is equal to, oh, not dollar sign, because this is hours. 37 and a half hours. Okay? 37 and a half hours were worked. Good. That answers B. And question C is pretty simple. It says here $19 an hour. Is that more or less than minimum wage in Saskatchewan? That's definitely more. It's not a bad wage at all. Yeah. Make a formula for B. Make a formula that you can use to calculate your earnings for any pay period. The pay is always going to be Whatever hours you have, what are you going to multiply it by? The $19 an hour, you're always going to multiply by that. You're always going to go to your pay. If you want to make a general formula, it's going to be $19 an hour. I like using a flat fraction when I say per hour. $19 per hour. I'm going to put that in brackets there. Times your time. That's a general formula. And that would be time in hours. If you want it to be a little smaller, you could just say like this. Pay is equal to 19 times the time. That's, if you don't like all the per hour stuff on there, make it look neater. Now, from that, the next one there I'll let you do, but it's like if you got the whole year's wage on there, and then you can divide it over 10 months or divide it by 12 months, figure out what the monthly pay is. If you were paid bi-weekly. Do you know how many weeks there are in a year? There are 52 weeks in a year. You might need to know that. So bi-weekly would be 26 pay periods, because that's every second week. Overtime pay. One other thing, I'm going to skip ahead to 7 then. And we'll see where you're at. Dave is a mechanic at a car shop. If you're regularly paid $27.75 and you work overtime, you get your time and a half. To make overtime rate pays, multiply by hourly wage by 1.5. That's your time and a half, 1.5. Other than that, I should be able to let you go with those. Stop that one.